Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 video. In this video I'm going to be going through the top 10 card art, at least in my opinion, from the Adventures in Forgotten Realms Commander set. So I have a separate video for the just general Adventures in Forgotten Realms set. I wanted to kind of break it up into two. Actually, it was difficult to find art that really spoke to me in the Commander portion of AFR. But here we go, this is my top 10. Obviously, it's all subjective. These are the ones that, spoke to me the most, or at least stuck out to me the most. Starting with number 10, so Phantom Steed. I'm a sucker for glowy art, and I think the glowy style effect here, the translucent effect in this art is actually done pretty well. What I actually like more than the horse here is the background. So I don't know why, but it's almost as if obviously this is kind of like a winter-like scene, or at least it seems like it's a winter-like scene, so everything's kind of frozen over. But it kind of looks like things kind of froze over quickly, as if it was kind of off-season. I don't know why, but just the way the houses are drawn in the background gives me that feeling. And just, I don't know, something about it is both comforting and eerie. So actually that jumped out at me more than the actual horse. By the way, I'm sorry that there's not a better resolution image for any of these cards, but just the art is not available, so there's a sorry in advance. Number 9, Netheressie Puzzle Ward. Probably butchered that first part. I really like art that mixes gold and blue together. Here, there's no glowy type effects. But I just really like this artwork, even though in a way it kind of seems simplistic, but and there's actually a lot more detail in it than you think. I mean, there's a lot of detail even in the bricks in the background. So there's definitely a lot of work put in there. But I just kind of like the whole, beam of light shining across different mirrors, empowering this, whatever this puzzle ward is. I don't know, just really like this art. Nothing in particular special about it. But of all the art that I went through, I really thought that this was pretty cool. I like it a lot. And it's my number 9. Alright, the first thing I saw when I saw number 8 was an elongated Scream mask. I don't know if you ever watched the movie Scream, or the movie series, the horror series Scream. But the mask that they wore, this looks like a Scream mask, but just elongated extremely long. I can't unsee it. And if you didn't see it before and you see it now, well, there you go, because now you won't be able to unsee it either. But, references to old horror movies aside, I actually really like this artwork. What I like the most about it is fine, you got the cloudy white gray style effect in the background, but it really transitions well with the almost like galaxy like coloring effect on the robe. Well, this is literally called the Robe of Stars, so it would kind of make sense, but I just feel like it's a great transition. And what's more is that there's a really nice mix of purples and blues, which gets me a lot in art, especially when you see it in foil. So hopefully I'll pull one of these at some point and see it in foil. I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. This is my number 8. Alright, the next 3 are going to have a theme here. I'm not going to say anything. Let's just see if you can pick up on the theme. Bag of Tricks. I think artwork like this is sometimes or underappreciated or underestimated. There's a lot of detail that goes into this art. Now, you can't tell from the resolution because there's literally no high resolution image of this version of this artwork, unfortunately, right now. But there's a lot of detail that's gone into this. Every particular toy has its own detail. Sometimes when there's a lot of things going on in artwork, sometimes the artist will blur things that are a bit more in the background, just kind of save time. But there's none of that here. This is a lot of detail in the bag itself, the contents of the bag, even the hand. It just is really, really well done. It's just well executed. I love the color choices. Realistic for the type of art that it is. It's just perfect. A bag of tricks. So it's also kind of scary because it's called Bag of Tricks. I don't know what tricks are in these toys. It's kind of scary, but alright, there you go. This is my number 7. Number 6, Component Pouch. I've mentioned this before in previous top 10 art videos. I am a sucker sometimes for artwork that has like items in it, like small little items, or even just like pieces of food or meals or whatever. I don't know what it is about it, but I really, really enjoy it, especially when it's well executed. And again, here, I feel like it's really well executed. I really like the color choices. A lot of detail, again, put into this artwork, even in the wooden desk that you know, the contents of this pouch have been spilled over. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I saw this, I knew it was going to be in my top 10, and I feel like it fits well number 6. I really like the way it's been executed. There's detail everywhere. I could stare at it, you know, try and find little details I missed previously. It's really great. Number 5, all right. Now you see number 5, 6, and 7. What was the theme? Yeah, they're all bags of one sort or another. This is kind of like the culmination of everything I've been saying so far. A lot of detail has gone into this artwork everywhere. I mean, just look at every corner, you know, even in the center, and work your way out. There's detail everywhere. There's really no part of this artwork where the artist kind of like rushed through it. Even the hand that's kind of cut off from the artwork, at least in the card art or the card frame. There's just detail well executed everywhere. I really like it. Again, it's a bag of stuff inside, and this bag seems like it's alive, which is kind of scary. Just really tickles my fancy. It hits me exactly where I like to be hit in terms of artwork. So this was my very obvious number 5. Okay, number 4. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you know what episode this was probably inspired from. Maybe it wasn't, and maybe it's just something that the artists came up with in their own mind, which is perfectly fine. But the first thing I thought of was, well, I guess I shouldn't be doing spoiler alert, but come on, it's been like years since that show finished. But yeah, here we go. I really love this. That dragon is very ominous. It's massive, so big, it doesn't fit in the frame. I'm not even sure how. It must be really, really huge. Just look at it. It's really big. And it's not that far. I mean, the distance between its breadth and that horse carriage is, there's not a big distance. So that thing is huge. I really feel bad for that horse. Apart from that, whatever. But I just think this is great. This is artwork that I would love to have even on my wall, just because it's just kind of epic in the way that it is. I'm a big fan of dragons, so this was a very obvious number 4 for me. Number 3 gives me I got 2 feelings when I saw this artwork first, and those 2 feelings solidified its spot in the top 3. Number 1, I got a really summery feeling out of it. It's just, I don't know, I felt like summer when I saw this artwork. And I got like a feeling of like popsicles. Don't laugh at me. I guess it goes hand in hand with the summer theme. But like, I don't know why I got a popsicle theme out of this. I don't know if it's because of the glow of the bear. Something with that. I know it has nothing to do with the artwork. But it's just the 2 feelings that came together. When I saw this art, I'm like, alright, well, this is going to be my top 10. And ended up in my number 3. Again, in terms of detail, I really like it here. A lot of detail in the, I'm assuming it's a bear. Whatever's being ridden, that mount is like a bear. And then out of nowhere, you have this like brain-like crab or whatever, pet. Just a lot of detail throughout the card, throughout the character itself. And yeah, I mean, this was my number 3. Just colors that I really love, a nice mix all together. Really nice transition between the blues and the greens in the background. And even in the background, although there's a lot of blurring, even more so in the crappy resolution that I have to work with, but there's even decent amount of detail in the background, and I really like that attention to detail. Number 2, yeah, this is scary. This is pretty scary. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, whoa, this is really well executed. Tentacles, and you'll see my number 1 is a similar idea. Tentacles, I feel, are always they're hard to execute. At least I've seen tentacles poorly executed in the past. Here, I feel like they're well executed, although they're not technically tentacles. I guess they are tentacles. You can see that they all have eyes at the end of them, which is kind of crazy, and they also could be lit up, I guess, like flashlights. Let's forget about the tentacles for a second. Let's just pay attention. Let's focus on the center of the artwork here. Yeah, this is crazy. This is a place where I would not want to be at any given point in time. Kind of reminds me of a raid boss from World of Warcraft. I'm forgetting the name now. It was a really popular one, or a well-known one. But anyway, reminds me of a raid boss from World of Warcraft. But again, the eye, very scary, very menacing, right in your face. I feel like the body is also really well executed. There's not a lot of lighting, but lighting was used properly here to kind of make things a bit more scary. And again, the depth of darkness in the mouth is kind of, exactly where you don't want to be. And then the bottom there, you see all those, I don't know, disciples or whoever's under his control or its control. And it's just really setting the scene really well. And I knew this was going to be in my top 3. And there you go. It's number 2. All right, number 1. of all the AFR Commander art cards is Nihilur. So, two things here with this artwork that really made me say this is my number one. First off, lighting. Really well done. There's kind of like two lighting sources. So there's a lighting source from the background, kind of going from the top right down, which is kind of casting a shadow properly across the different tentacles. And there's also another lighting source from you, the viewer. So almost like, you know, you're walking in a dungeon through a dark dungeon, and then boom, the Nihilur kind of, I don't know if it's part of the lore, but you know, this is what it looks like. Nihilur just kind of popped up and like, you're in my lair now, and I'm about to eat you. So I really like that dual lighting effect, kind of like, oh, he's caught you. And number two that's been well executed is just the tentacles. Again, really well done. These are obviously tentacles. I guess I'm using the correct terminology here. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. And I just, yeah, again, very menacing, very scary. Obviously not a comfortable point of view to be in if you're not in Nihilur in this particular scenario or this shot. And this was clearly my number one. There was a lot of artwork for a lot of characters in the AFR Commander set, but this is what took the top for me. So that's it. This was my number one. This is my top 10 for Adventures of the Forgotten Realms Commander cards. Stay tuned. In a couple of hours, I'm going to be releasing my top 10 art cards from the general set, which is a lot harder because there's a lot more art to go through. Stay tuned for that. What was your top 10 for AFR Commander? I'm really curious to hear from you because I know there's you know, there's still a decent amount of cards to choose from, but these are the ones that ended up for me. But I'd love to hear from you which was your number one or your top three. Kind of see what I missed. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, share my content on social media. Watch it start to finish like you're doing right now. All that stuff really helps me out a lot and really goes a long way. Thank you. If you want to support this channel on Patreon, check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. Check out my Patreon rewards program. There's a video on there that describes it all. Basically, in a nutshell, my Patreon is set up to make you money, not me. I'm not kidding. I'm not some shyster. I mean it. Like, I give away thousands of dollars on my channel publicly all the time. So there's no tricks here. This is all legitimate. The money is just going to, you know, buying sealed product for the channel. Rares and Mythics go back to as a patron. Anyway, check it all out. It's a really generous program, I find. Yeah, thanks and have a good one.